Hello and welcome to the Pose Editor video tutorial. The purpose of this video is to get you acquainted with the notion of the Pose Editor and show you how to run and operate it. In order to run the Pose Editor, you will most likely need a Linux box. If you manage to run it on some other operating system, I'd be happy if you'd let me know. To obtain the source code, go to the Slayer website, click the download button and follow the instructions. You will need at least the 1.1.0 version. Slayer is a programming environment that is used to run the Pose Editor. It is based on the Guile scheme programming language and requires simple Direct Media Layer library version 1.2. In order to run the code that uses 3D graphics, some implementation of the OpenGL is required along with the headers. It is likely, however, that your operating system already provides those. You will also need to have an instance of OpenDynamics Engine compiled with single precision support. This is important because the double precision version fails to run. Under Ubuntu, all the necessary packages can be obtained from the repository. If they are already present in the system, you can proceed with Slayer compilation. The compilation proceeds as usual in case of the GNU packages. After decompressing the package, enter the packages directory, type /configure and then type make. After successful compilation, you can enter the demos directory. You will also need to type make once in order to build the OpenDynamics Engine bindings package. When it's done, simply type /post.scm in the demos directory to run the Pose Editor. The first run can take some time because Guile needs to compile all the necessary modules. After it's done, the program will boot much faster. When the window opens, you will see a 3D model and 4 buttons: File, Pose, Sequence and Hide. Initially, the Hide tab is active, not to obscure the 3D view which displays the robot Rob. In order to move the camera in the 3D view, use the W key to move forward, S to move backward, A to move left, D to move right, R to move up, and F to move down. To look around, you can either use the keyboard arrows or drag the mouse over the 3D view holding the left mouse button. Sometimes the camera might lose its horizon. To adjust it, you can either use the Q to twist it left or E to twist it right. You can also use the keys 1, 2 and 3 to look at the robot from the front, from the left and from the top, or Shift + 1, 2 or 3 to look at it from the back, from the right or from the bottom. Setting up a pose is quite natural. If you want to set up a limb into a specific position, just left-click it and drag it around the screen. Note, however, that the inverse kinematics feature does not always work perfectly, and sometimes it is more desirable to set up the angles between the limbs directly. In order to do so, you need to select 2 consecutive limbs holding down the Shift key. Then press the H key to enter the rotate mode. Move the cursor around the selected limb in order to rotate it. The bigger wheel you make with the mouse cursor, the greater precision you obtain. When you set up the desired angle, confirm it by left-clicking or cancel using the Escape key. The fixed point of the rotation depends on the order in which you select the body part. The body selected later will move, while the one selected first will remain fixed. The axis of rotation depends on which 2 bodies are selected. You can spend some time trying to figure out which axes correspond to specific pairs of bodies, or refer to some documentation if it becomes available. If you drag around any part of the corpus, you will move the whole robot around the stage. If you want to set the angles between the parts of the corpus, it is enough to select only one body and then press H. Selecting chest or pelvis will result in bending, while selecting the abdomen will result in turning. You can also adjust the pose by setting the angles directly in the Pose tab, either by providing a specific value to a given text field, or by rolling the mouse wheel over the corresponding field. Furthermore, you can select all body parts using the Ctrl-A combination and rotate the whole robot in 3D space. You can undo the editing actions by using the Ctrl-Z combination. The Pose tab offers a few more options. When you set up a pose, you can provide whichever set of angles you wish. However, the joint angles are constrained by some value. For instance, you cannot turn your head beyond a certain degree. The same is true for Rob, although it affects only the physical simulation and not the editing. If you wish to clamp the angles to a desired value, use the Apply Stops button. Note also that when you apply various transformations or simply switch between some poses, the editor will make sure that the selected body part remains still. If no body part is selected, the editor will make sure that the chest is still. If you want to reset the angles in joints attached to selected body parts, press the C key. If you want to reset the whole pose to the initial setup, press Ctrl R. Another thing worth mentioning is how to make the feet parallel to the ground. Rather than adjusting the angles manually, simply select the foot you wish to make parallel and press the L key. If you wish to save a pose, type its name in, press return, and then click the save button. It is important, if you don't press the save button, the pose won't be saved. Also, if you want to see how the gravity would affect your pose, turn the simulator on by pressing the P key. You can observe how the must center is affected by pressing the M key. After you're done creating a few poses, you can assemble them into a sequence. In order to do so, switch to the Sequence tab, drag the rectangles with the poses' names to the Sequence field, choose the name for the new sequence, confirm it using the return key, and save it using the save button. If you wish to play the current sequence, press the play button. The robot will probably fall onto the ground. That's because it doesn't know how to keep balance. If you know how to resolve this issue and have some experience in robotics, please let me know. That's it for today. Happy hacking, and may the Lambda be with you. Oh, and one last thing. All your poses and sequences will be saved automatically to an external file when you leave the pose editor, so you don't need to worry about it.